we want to just start off by talking, obviously, there's two showcases closing here this month in Massachusetts. And it doesn't seem like this is kind of like a blip on the radar or anything like that. There's been a lot of closures since the pandemic. What do you make of this trend, and should moviegoers be worried?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, first of all, the showcase closings are part of Paramount being sold to Skydance, and they're looking to unload National Amusements. So that's sort of a separate matter. But what we've been seeing for a while now, even before the pandemic, is a contraction because the multiplexes, the chain's way overbuilt. Money was cheap, and they just kept throwing these places up. And honestly, there's no reason to have 20 screens in a complex. I mean, there aren't enough people, there aren't enough movies. It was poor planning. And unfortunately, the pandemic exaggerated that. So you're seeing a realignment.
Do you think we'll see like smaller theater? Do you think some will be rebuilt and there'll be, more of like a six screen type complex?
Well, if you look at, we're very lucky in Boston because we have so many small independent theaters, and those places are thriving. If you see the Coolidge Corner Theater just had this huge expansion. They added two new screens, a film education center. Yeah, the Arlington Capitol just celebrated its 100th anniversary. West Newton Cinema was about to be bulldozed, and the community came in and rallied, and now it's all completely revitalized. So it's for the smaller community-based theaters, this is a huge time, but I think it's the megaplex is what's dying.
Yeah, see that I guess that's kind of surprising to me. I would think that at some point, or maybe that shifted when the pandemic started, but like before it was the smaller theaters that were dying, and now it seems to be these larger, larger owned ones.
Well, if you remember, the same thing happened with bookstores, where you had Borders and Barnes and Noble were supposed to wipe out all the indie stores, and the ones that hung on are doing great now. And where's Borders?
No longer. I mean, do you think some of it has to do with the streaming, the heightened streaming?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, first of all, streaming, it's completely devalued movies. You have, and the studios aren't helping with this. When they put the movies on streaming 17 days after they open, there used to be a 90-day window before video, and people just think, well, I can go watch this at home 2 weeks later. Who cares? And it makes the movie feel less important and makes it feel like less of an event. If you notice, Disney holds a 60-day window on their theatrical releases before they send them to Disney Plus. They know what they're doing over there, but that's suicidal on some extent from the studios just for the short-term video on demand profits. You also have, I mean, the goal of streaming, the goal of Netflix and Apple, and Ted Sarandos has come out and said this, is, they want you at home watching their service. And their end game is to wipe out theatrical distribution. They don't like it. It's that's why Netflix will go and pay all the biggest movie stars top dollar to make movies and only show them on Netflix. That's why they'll go to festivals and pay a fortune for movies that they then bury on their service with no advertising, but it keeps them out of the theaters.
That's interesting. I mean, and obviously there's still kind of that tug of war with Paramount, which is our parent company, and Netflix over Warner Brothers. I
Mhm.
mean, do you think that's just gonna, worsen the problem?
If Netflix buys Warner Brothers, that's an extinction level event for movie theaters. I mean, I know they talk about they want to keep the same business model, but I don't see that happening at all. I mean, should
Yeah,
we
I mean,
trust what they say or what they've been doing for the past 15 years? I don't know.
and yeah, I know you kind of mentioned the quality of the movie. I mean, do you think the quality of the movies that they're putting out plays a role too?
A few years ago, when we were completely deluged with Marvel and Star Wars, I would have said that that's a huge contributing factor. But if you see now, I mean, this past year, I'm looking at the numbers for movies like Sinners and One Battle After Another, and now you have Wuthering Heights set to open at $70 million, I just heard. And The Housemaid made $125 million. It's not all franchises and sequels anymore. I mean, look at the numbers on Marty Supreme, and people want to see real movies. That's what I'm a critic, so I call them real movies.
That's understandable. I get that. I get that point of view. I mean, I think another thing that's,
Executives might not want to make them. That's the other.
yeah, it is interesting. And I think one thing too is like if like a family of four is going to a movie right now, and I know that the movie theaters need to make their money off concessions. So that's a huge factor, but like you get a movie ticket, you get, two buckets of popcorn and three sodas, and you're almost looking at $100. Do you think that's also playing a role?
See, I always hear that, and then I look it up. Okay, so the average ticket price nationally is $11. It's $16 in Massachusetts because everything's crazy here. But I mean, how much are these people eating? When I was growing up, my mother said we can go out to eat or we can go to the movies.
Yeah, sometimes it's dinner in a movie. I think that's part of the problem, right?
Yeah, it's and movies are still the cheapest date. I mean, have you been to a concert lately or a restaurant?
Yeah, no, those aren't too good.
And most
Uh,
theaters have membership programs and they have discount days. They've just expanded discount days to Tuesdays and Wednesdays at a lot of the chains I've noticed.
Yeah, it's when I've gotten tickets for my son and like my in-laws, it's yeah, they have a lot of senior discounts. And I think like Tuesday or Wednesday, we have a showcase in Millbury that we use. And I guess what's, outside of, the studios or Netflix trying to burn it all down, like what can theaters do to remain viable?
Well, honestly, I worked in exhibition for 16 years. So I watched corporations cut corners so much that they've cut their own throats. I mean, right now, the biggest enemy of multiplexes is the multiplex experience at this point. I don't know what it's like where you live, but I had to go to one recently. And I mean, you walk up, you buy a ticket from a kiosk, there's not a person. Then you go over this concession stand and you either enter a thing on a computer and they put it in a window, or you got to walk over. When I went to see Melania, I had to go over and they had popcorn in a cabinet. Who knows how long it's been sitting there? And then you self-serve, you got to pour your own soda. It's like going to the airport now.
Yeah, I've seen that at a couple theaters. I know ours doesn't have, I mean, they have the kiosks, which is one thing, and they also have, you could actually buy it from an actual person. But the only, I can't remember I did see that one place, maybe it was on the Cape or it's on vacation somewhere that where where you had to go get like what you were just describing, going and get your popcorn somewhere else. But I mean,
Yeah, and I mean it's not welcoming. It's that sort of just herd the people in, and then they don't have projectionists anymore at these large chains. They're all remote operated. So usually there's a problem with the screen, and no one's going to know how to fix it.
so some people think that 10 years from now, the majority of theaters will be closed. Do you see that happening?
No, I don't see that happening. I think the large theater chains are, and they're trying to now. They're going to have to clean up their act, and you see a lot more emphasis on premium presentation, and but they have to get back to the customer experience. And if you look at all these theaters that are thriving, that's what it is. They're part of the community. They're personable. They're warm. That's why people do things like fight to keep them open. Like that's why they rescued the West Newton. People like the theater. They like the people there.
Obviously, you're a Coolidge Corner guy. I can see that you're
Yeah.
wearing a t-shirt, so that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of our best for
Yeah, I mean
sure.
the same thing happened to the Coolidge in the 80s. A bunch of regular customers like formed a human wall around the theater when they were going to tear it down. So
That's great. All right, anything else you want to add?
I think that's trying to think of anything else. I mean, it's basically just about the film experience, and the places that are doing well are people who have a passion for it and they want to share it with their community.
Yeah, I think that's true. All right, well, thank you so much, Sean Burns. Really appreciate your time.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.